So how could St. AUBYN know the correct thing to write? What calculation did he perform on the various causes and factors to establish that 1:45 would be best? Well, there was no calculation. He just told the truth. Telling the truth is the wisest we ever are, because whatever is at play above our heads, beyond our comprehension, if we say honestly what we feel, then we accurately report the universe. We don't know how to do the sum, we don't even know what the sum is, but we know the answer. Say, this is a terrible example, but say, when I say I honestly say I like eggs and bacon. I'd just eaten eggs and bacon, I think, when I wrote this. I don't know why biologically, neurochemically, evolutionarily, I like eggs and bacon. But when I say I like eggs and bacon, if I am being honest, then I am immaculately correct. When St. AUBYN says the Melroses eat at 1:45, he is immaculately correct. This is the power of autobiographies, kind of bluntness or crudeness. It is an excellent conductor of truth. Again, that was a mundane example, but it matters a lot, because consider the following scenes. These are the upsetting ones, by the way. During the rape. From behind the curtains with the green birds, he saw a gecko emerge and cling motionlessly to the corner of the wall beside the open window. Patrick lanced himself towards it, tightening his fists and concentrating until his concentration was like a telephone wire stretched between them. Patrick disappeared into the lizard's body. The gecko understood, because at that very instant it dashed round the corner of the window and out onto the wall. Below he could see the drop to the terrace and the leaves of the Virginia creeper. Immediately afterwards, Patrick walked down the drive, and as he stared at the toes of his scuffed sandals, he saw, instead, the top of his head as if from 10 or 12 feet in the air, and he felt an uncomfortable curiosity about the boy he was watching, while Patrick tries to sleep that night. Patrick did not wake up from his dream, although he could feel a needle slip under his shoulder blade and push out through his chest. The thick thread was sewing his lungs up like an old sack, and he could not breathe. Panic like wasps hovering about his face, ducking and twisting and beating the air. These aren't things that you could find or invent by calculation or contrivance. They're too strange. Logic and argument and deduction are too venal, egotistical, cowardly, and blind. Honesty is our only path to real truth. When we see real truth, it is amazingly persuasive. At one point in the book, we have Patrick says, "But what have I done wrong? You know perfectly well what you have done," his father said in a cold, annihilating voice that Patrick found overwhelmingly persuasive. He was suddenly ashamed of all the things he had done wrong. The truth is overwhelmingly persuasive. It's not a great comparison because David's evil gives Patrick false beliefs. And truth is always good for you and makes you more correct and better. But in common is the force of the persuasion, and St. AUBYN puts that quite well there. Truth sweeps through reason and pre-existing beliefs. Its power forces us into the childlike state, where rather than trying to fit new things into what we think we know, we change what we think we know to make space for the new things. We need this. In fact, it's crucial that we sever our dependence on coherence and logic and instead learn from the honesty of other people. If we are confined to the things we already believe and the small ring of potential beliefs that they permit around them, we never get far and are always small. It's like trying to pick your way through a dense forest in which you're already snagged on 100 brambles. If you really want to go far, you need the tidal wave to sweep through and carry you along. Then you can say, I don't know why the Melroses lunch at 1:45, but I believe they do. There is great power in this. I don't know why the world is the way it is, but I believe it. Format. Principally, in this case, I don't know why fathers would rape their sons, but I believe it happens. It's vital that we can accept without understanding. There are those like me, and I hope like as many as you as possible, who can say, I'm lucky enough that by my own life experience, a father raping a son is unthinkable and impossible. But think of the difference between the person like that who says, I have no reason to believe a father would rape a son, and the one who says, I don't know why a father would rape a son, but I believe it happens. Most obviously and most importantly, who treats sons who have been raped by fathers better, but also who treats strangers better, who treats their own father better, and maybe even, I hope it isn't bad, who treats their own son better. This is where honesty delivers us. By the way, I know you might be asking, what about the effect this kind of thing has on those who have been raped by their fathers? Kind of solace or comfort. And basically I've just got to say, wait until the next week. Yeah, it's said that the purpose of art is to disturb the comfortable and comfort the disturbed. Since this book's effect on me was almost all, fortunately for me, it was almost all disturb the comforted, I thought I would wait until we have also covered a book about which I can more honestly say I felt I was the disturbed comforted, which will be next week. But if honesty is so powerful, couldn't we just be swept all over the place by various lies pretending to be honest? No, I don't think so, because we are very sensitive to honesty. Hemingway said we have a built-in shit detector, and scientists have explained how an ability to identify lying was an evolutionary priority. Well, obviously evolution doesn't have priorities, but would be very heavily rewarded by evolution. But anyway, for whatever reason, we can see honesty. Just as we can pick out the human face from a sea of human face-like rocks, or as a mother can pick out her baby's scream among 100 other screams, we can pick out honesty. I remember being younger and watching Darren Brown during a holiday in Norfolk. I was maybe 8, and he got an audience member out and had her. There were, I think, 40 people or so lined up on the stage with their backs to her, all wearing yellow shirts with a number between the shoulder blades. And Darren wanted her to pick one, And I saw on the screen that the, let's say it was 32, that the shirt of number 32 quickly glimmered in a bit of light. There was like cling film on the back or something. And then the woman, when she had to make her decision, said 32, and 32 turned round, and it was, whatever Darren had wanted to happen happened. But the woman didn't know why she'd chosen 32. It was, she just felt, she was just drawn to it. Drawn to the one that shined, even though she did not see it shine. And it is in that way that we can find honesty. We are drawn to it, and that we can find truth. It shines, and it shines with sweat. For further reading, the rest of the Melrose Quintet, obviously, though I don't think they're quite as good, the rest. Jane Austen, I Like Emma, and Pride and Prejudice. I know those are the normie ones and I need to read the rest, but those are really good. In paintings, Francis Bacon's self-portraits. In music, The Libertines' second album, The Libertines. Thank you. Remember, for St. AUBYN, it was honesty or death, and for all of us, it is honesty or death. So you know what to do, get the towels out, wrap up. And thank you. May you live forever. Alright, I'll see you next week for the next one. An ending fitting for the start, you twist and taught, I love apart your live fingers through the dark, shattered the lamp.